Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to Ahlul Bayt Live with our special show tonight, looking at the spiritual journey of a group who went to Iraq and Iran in a space of 2 weeks, visiting the Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam in those countries. And it certainly is inspiring to hear their stories for those of us who are going about our daily lives in a very spiritually arid environment, which we know we are living in. And we have with us a guest who was here earlier, Brother Reza, and Mullah Ali Fadhil as well, who's with us. And inshallah we will be talking about the next part of your journey, which was to Iran. But you filmed this whole journey.
Yeah, it started with me speaking to Hussein Makki, who was going to come onto the show, but he couldn't. And a little after that, we got Ali Fadhil involved. And then we got
an extra.
No, he's one of the stars. And then we got Saarah involved, and I wanted to make a film together about the journey that they have, because as much as I said in the earlier part, we talk about it and we hear it in lectures and stuff. It's good to see it. It's good to feel it, and media is a very powerful way of doing that. And that's why, you know, I hope that Ahlul Bayt TV is more successful in what they do. The more resources are given to it, and inshallah more channels are set up like Ahlul Bayt TV, because we have to try and get the message out in a modern form. Yeah. You know, before there used to be the passion plays, and they still go on, but things have evolved, technology is coming, so we need to be able to use that, utilize it to spread the message of Ahlul Bayt. And I thought, just basically follow their story. It's not about acting it out, it's just them being themselves. And Hussein Makki, he brought an element to it. He's very passionate and he's very emotional and he's very youthful. And Ali's the more, mature, more like, because of his obviously role as the reciter, so he has more experience. And then we had Saarah, who was looking at it from maybe the feminine perspective, as for example, say Hazrat Zainab, the stuff maybe she would have gone through. So we try to incorporate all that into a story and then let people see it. And then it's not just about making them wanting to go to these places. It's about telling them a story. And it could be someone who's not a Muslim or a Shia. They get to see this and they're inspired. Yeah.
Inshallah. You were going
I was just going to say, there are moments, especially in a ziyarah trip or any occasion within one's life, there are moments where you think to yourself, I wish I had a camera to capture that. Or I wish this was recorded. SubhanAllah, there was a lot of moments during this trip which you thought to yourself, after, I wish I had a camera. But the good thing is that because of Brother Reza, he was very much a hard-working person over there, because wherever anything that he smelt the potential of an angle, he was there. You'd know he'd like this little person in your face. So in a way, it was like, I'm trying to cry here, just sort of leave me alone. But in another way, it's like I wanted to be captured, because I want to relay, or I want to retell to the person or to the viewer what it actually feels like to be within the vicinity of an imam, for example, be it grief, be it happiness, be it laughter, because the whole trip, because this trip was quite special in a sense, because it wasn't entirely grief related. When we were in Iran, it was, like we said, it was very much a tranquil scenario. Sayyidina Ma'soom and Qom, again, a very tranquil time, so it was both happy and sad, which was again very good for the cameraman to be able to capture a whole variety of emotions within one documentary.
It's funny he says that, because I've had a lot of people feedback on Facebook, because we set up a page called Cities of Light, and people have feedback about the fact that we love the fact that there's lots of photos, because now we can visualize and remember that way what happened to us. And I was going through the photos, I took lots of photos, I think maybe 1,000.
Lots of photos. And
I counted, and I was in 5 of them myself. So I was a bit regretful the fact that I didn't take any of myself.
And all 5 are on Facebook.
They're not on Facebook. But and the fact that we managed to document it, a lot of people like at the beginning, why is this camera in my face? Who are you? What are you doing? Because they didn't understand what I was doing. Then I made a while we were in Karbala, I took my laptop and everything, and I made a teaser. I made a little 1 minute clip of our walk to Haram Abu Fazl Abbas, and there when I gathered everyone in the reception of the hotel, and I just thought, you know, just so you can see what it is I'm doing, so you don't think I'm a bit loopy crazy. They watched the video, and then they said, let's play again. They played it about 3-4 times, and they liked it so much that people actually came up to me and said, why am I not in more of the shots? Yeah. And I was like, okay, fair enough, because when the camera was near you, you were like either looking away, doing your hijab, or the guy, whatever. But in a way, it's not egotistical thing. It's good to remind ourselves, because once you see that, it makes you want to go more.
It's a form of inspiration. So it's, as you say, it's not about saying I'm in front of the camera. It's more like sharing something. You know, this is my experience, but you're opening out for people to you know, share in it as well. But we can take, inshallah, a look at I think we've got this clip on, which I think we are going to see it now. Yes, we're going to see it now. Slightly.
منو دل کندن از دل بر محاله منو دل کندن از دل بر محاله دلم با دل برم در شور و حاله با این آقا به این خوبی ندونم کی گفته کربلا رفتن خیاله دمادم این داورد زبانم ببینم کربلا را تا جوانم درون سینه آسایش ندارم نیستان را به آتش می کشانم ببین آشفته گشته وز.
That was just a clip that has been made of this journey. Some of our audience might be wondering, is it possible, you know, when will it be possible to view the whole journey?
Oh, we're working on the edit of the documentary. Inshallah, by hopefully maybe September or maybe October, maybe sooner, we'll be able to get a releasable version out, and we'd like to invite all the people that are on the trip and other people. We're going to try and get a venue, and it's just to, I mean, you know, we have in the world, we have premieres for films, right?
Yeah.
Massive blockbusters. But why can't we celebrate the Ahlul Bayt? Why can't we celebrate these amazing people? I mean, why does it always have to be in a book, or just in a majlis of a what's it called, a mosque or Husseiniya? Why can't they be brought into our life in a way where it's not haram?
Yeah. It's
halal, and we can appreciate it on a different level and spread it. Because at the end of the day, there's a reason why, if we live in a society where they don't know much about us, and by seeing a 1-hour film, they can know almost as much as if they read a book.
Yeah.
It's more likely that they will see that than pick up a book.
I think definitely now, because we're living in such a you know, visual age, and especially, I know, like in the States, even more so, where people read probably less statistically than they do further over towards Europe. I don't mean to insult anybody, but that's the kind of like the statistics. So everything is done through you know, TV or film, and this is what went through my mind, that, you know, the billions that are spent on movies, and they'll say, you know, they spend all these millions on a pointless movie that someone's going to forget about in about a year's time, and they say, oh dear, it only grossed 700 million. That was a flop, you know. And you know, and then you think, subhanAllah, why? What amazing films about Ahlul Bayt could be made, you know, with a fraction of that. And so this is an appeal to anybody who happens to be watching, who
wants to fund the next
inshallah, yeah. So again, moving to Iran. So how many days, Ali, did you spend in Iran?
In Mashhad we were there for 3 days.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I think 3 days. 5 days older on.
Yeah, 3 days in Mashhad, and then we made our way to Tehran.
Okay.
To stop to visit the Imamzadas there, and I think Imam Khomeini to visit them, and then from there we went to Qom.
Okay.
I don't know if you mentioned this. Should we mention this? Hey, Lali?
The Hilali trip? Yeah, you can start.
Yeah, we can mention, because basically there was a very, very famous reciter within the Iranian Matam field called Muhammad Reza Hilali, Haji Hilali. Well, there's a couple of brothers on the trip that knew about him.
Used his song in the teaser.
The person, on the teaser song, the teaser recitation that was used just now. His voice was there, Hilali, and he was just talking about, you know, the love for Karbala and wanting to visit. So anyway, a couple of the brothers that were there on the trip knew about Hilali, and I told them that, well, he's going to be reciting the same day that we're in Tehran. Now, this is a very, very good opportunity for us to be able to just to visit Hilali, just to see how the atmosphere is. So we travelled and we travelled and we travelled and we travelled just to get there. We took, I think, how many stops?
We took
a train,
we took metro,
a bus,
we walked.
We
just to get run over.
Yeah, just to get to this place. Once we got there, I think this is a bit of a funny story, but once we got there, I was wearing sort of, you know, the Arab traditional dress, dishdasha. You know, a couple of people were t-shirts, a cap.
Another member, he's Urdu background, so he was wearing the Pakistani clothes.
Yeah, Pakistani. So we were very, very multicultural, let's just say. So we walked into this massive hall, and there was like scattered people around, and then they all sort of just looked towards these 8 people who looked like they were aliens. To them, their jaws were literally to their mouth, to their feet, and they were
got more excited because they were speaking English.
And we speak in English. So we sat down, and then I was like, guys, we should sit on the side, because I know about the sort of the culture around us. So I was telling them, listen, guys, let's sit on the side, let's not draw attention to ourselves. But they were adamant; they wanted to sit right in the middle just to see Hilali. Okay, sit down. So we sat down. We're just waiting, because we were there very, very early. We're waiting until like one person came and sat right in front of us, and asked us a couple of questions in English. He asked us, you know, where are you guys from? And then the peculiar question was that he asked us, are you guys genuine believers, or are you so-called Muslim? Because you know, with the Lebanese, there was three Lebanese brothers with us. They had a bit of, you know, white complexion, so they didn't look really Arab or and a tattoo and stuff. So they asked us, you know, are you believers, or are you so-called Muslims? No, we're Shia, we're fully believers, you know, we just speak in Karbala, Ziyarah, parents are believers and everything. So it was nice to sort of break the ice, so to speak, just to have a bit of conversations going on. So we listened to the lecture, so I kind of slept.
Actually, they couldn't, because they don't understand English, so I kind of listened to the lecture, but I also a little bit fell asleep. But that was because we were
exhausted, and we hadn't slept for a good 24 hours. So we attempted to listen to the lecture, and then Hilali came on. Now, the thing is about the Iranian Matam is that it is very, very extreme, if I can put it that way. Very intense. The atmosphere is electric, to say the least.
I think this one was really intense.
This one was intense because it was
usually it's like Iraq, you know, whatever, chilled out, whatever.
Oh no. But Iranian Matam is always like this, but it had an added element, because I was there on a random Sha'ban night in Iran last year. It was just 3 days before Ramadan. Totally random, and they were there like just doing, because what they have is that they have weekly sessions of Matam, just to remember the tragedies of Ahlul Bayt. So I was there, and it actually felt like it was the night of Ashura, and this is a random Sha'ban day. So I told them, about this atmosphere that they could replicate. Alhamdulillah, when we were there, Hilali sort of did replicate this sort of atmosphere, and it had an end effect of be it the night of istishhad of Fatima Zahra alayhi salam. So he did the musibah of Fatima Zahra, and the atmosphere was very, very intense, and we participated within the Matam. You lost yourself within this atmosphere of intense grief for Imam Hussein alayhi salam, which was.
We should mention that the person who was with us, he's not here today, Hussein Makki.
Yeah.
He was like, in our whole trip, he was like the Matam master, as you want to call it.
Yeah, he was like my sidekick. I loved him being around, because whenever I recited, he knew how I recited. So he would do the Matam according to how I recited.
And he would do it really hard and beat himself really hard, and nobody could compete with him. And then he arrived in this Husseiniya. And then he realized,
this should be his bread.
I'm out of water here, because there's people beating themselves silly.
Yeah, this should have been his bread and butter, but he was a definite amateur compared to the rest of the.
But he loved it. I mean, we all loved it, and I have to give credit to everyone who came, because they didn't speak Iranian. They didn't understand the recitation. They didn't understand the speech. They didn't understand any of that, and yet they put 100% in, and that's the amazing thing about when we shared this commonality of love for Ahlul Bayt. if I go to Iraqi one, which I've been before, I may not understand what they're saying. I may understand some of the words.
I'm just going to say that's a good point you make, because some people say, this is another thing I find quite strange. I mean, you know, obviously my knowledge of Arabic and Farsi is quite limited, so I don't understand everything, but as you say, it's what's coming from the heart. But you do often get this like, well, I don't understand all the words, so, you know, and people say, I don't want to listen to it, I don't understand all the words. It's like, yeah, but what is this? This is like, you know, recitation for Imam Hussein, alayhi salam.
I mean, Imam Hussein didn't speak English, he didn't speak any other language,
yeah.
Yet we have some sort of connection with him. And all of the narrations that they said with Karbala is all in Arabic. Does that mean, oh, I can't relate to it because it's Arabic? No, you relate it because of the concept that was revealed to us, you know, the concept of matam, of grief, of sorrow.
I think you mentioned earlier about how the group, why it gelled so well together. As much as the love of Ahlul Bayt was in it, as much as we were diverse, the fact that a lot of stuff was being done in English, so the speeches, the lectures, the recitation by Mullah Ali was in English, that made us all understand what's going on, that made us all appreciate it, that made us all feel the emotions of sadness and grief and everything. It wasn't like, okay, it's going to be in a minute Iranian or Arabic, I'll wait for that. It was all at the same time. So that's why we gelled so well. So the language helped.
And another reason to have more media about
in English context, of course, because
what it does,
it breaks the barriers. Because in our community we have that issue of I'm Iranian, he's Iraqi, that's Pakistani. You stay to your senior, he stayed. We have that problem. But we're a small group in this country, so if we bring it together with the English context, with the English language, which we all share, because we're either brought up here, born here, or from here, whatever, we can then gel together. A lot of the problems put aside. The reason why, I mean, me and Ali, I knew him from before, and we had contact and stuff like that. But in the 10 days and of 2 weeks, I got to know him so well, and I got to appreciate him so well.
I can see you're like brothers now.
Unfortunately, I shared a room with him.
He shared him. Me and Hussein Hamaki and Ali Father shared a room, and I have photos and videos which I will put online later. But we all got on because not the fact. I mean, he's Iraqi, Hussein's Lebanese, and I'm Iranian background. So what brought us together? The fact that we could communicate together.
Very simple, but it's very effective. We actually could communicate with each other, and it's not just us three. It was the whole group that could communicate with each other. Sorry to cut you.
From different parts of the world. They were from Canada, from America, from Europe and Africa. And yet the fact that we could communicate and appreciate what we were doing with the same language, with the same form of communication, it made us all understand at the same time and grow spiritually at the same time. It was amazing, really.
Alhamdulillah, thank you very much. We look forward to the film coming out, documentary coming out, and thank you again for your time and sharing your amazing experiences as well, and encouragement for people again to go on ziyarah. Also, actually, to you know, for people around the world to get to know us from this part of the world as well. As you say, you walked in, they said, who are you? So again, to build links with our other brothers and sisters around the world. So inshallah, we will see you again, or I'll see you again, inshallah, on Saturday, and I wish you a good night. Assalamu alaikum.